Start your day with a swing. Feel that disc, some joy will bring. Flying high through the sky. Watch it soar, don't ask why. Chains will rattle, feel the sound. Disc lands gently on the ground. Every throw, every cast, making memories that last. Sweet chain, live on air. Grab your disc, show you care. Feel the breeze, feel the vibe. Join the fun, join the tribe. Top advice for your game. Perfect throws, aim for fame. From beginners to the pros, learn the secrets, learn the flows. Sweet chain, live on air. Grab your disc, show you care. Feel the breeze, feel the vibe. Join the fun, join the tribe. Every episode, a thrill. Talking disc golf, love the skill. Sweet chain, live, tune it in. Let the podcast now begin. Every episode, a thrill. Talking disc golf, love the skill. Sweet chain, live, tune it in. Let the podcast now begin. Start your day with a swing. Feel that disc, some joy will bring. Flying high through the sky. Watch it soar, don't ask why. Chains will rattle, feel the sound. Disc lands gently on the ground. Every throw, every cast, making memories that last. Sweet chain, live on air. Grab your disc, show you care. Feel the breeze, feel the vibe. Join the fun, join the tribe. Top advice for your game. Perfect throws, aim for fame. From beginners to the pros, learn the secrets, learn the flows. Sweet chain, live on air. Grab your disc, show you care. Feel the breeze, feel the vibe. Join the fun, join the tribe. Every episode, a thrill. Talking disc golf, love the skill. Sweet chain, live, tune it in. Let the podcast now begin. Every episode, a thrill.
Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. My name's Matt Drake. This is episode 179. We are hurtling along, I have to say. I'm joined by my co-host, Morgan Harfell. Good evening, Morgan.
Kia ora, Matt. As always.
I'm good, yeah. I say I'm good. I've been a bit crock the last couple of days,
A
honestly.
little bit crook, a little bit under the weather.
Yeah, like runny nose, coughing, spluttering, all that kind of stuff. Not been too fun at all, really. And obviously, you try and keep it away from the kids because it's even worse when the kids are. But I don't care for me, but I'd much rather the kids didn't get sick, and that's just.
Yeah, well, when you've got kids, mate, it's inevitable. You see it in every one of our friends that has children.
Unfortunately, it's what's going to happen. Yes. It's what's going to happen. But yeah, no. So I haven't really been out playing much disc golf, honestly. But I'm definitely going to get out this weekend, come hell or high water. And honestly, looking at the weather forecast, high water looks like it could well be a.
Yeah, it's just kicking off a little bit down these ways, and I think it'll probably push north towards you. But let's start off with a little bit of good news. I can see that you're wearing a new shirt.
Oh yeah. We were discussing this before, but I don't feel too bad because there's a couple of guys who did very well over the weekend, also wearing this shirt, who were in the team. So yeah, big shout out to Andrew Faulkner and Leon Botha, who did incredibly well, repping the New Zealand DSS Masters team. And so yeah, very very happy to be part of that group. And repping. Yeah, it's going to be cool. I can't wait. First event will be Topor, I think. So very, very much looking forward to it.
Good show coming up today.
Have you been out? Yes, very good show, actually. We've got a few new things going on. First new thing to talk about is Disc Golf Valley. Yes. Now, Morgan, you're into this.
A little bit.
You've played quite a bit of Disc Golf Valley.
A little bit.
I've had an account since pretty much close to when it came out. Like it was I've had it for like, I don't know, 4 years or something, and I've still only got a musket, a compass, and a dagger, and I think I've got an explorer, but it doesn't have any like big skip or glide or anything like that. So how are you doing? You've probably got more discs in your. Have you got more discs in your Disc Golf Valley account or more discs in your garage? Which
I think there's more in the garage, but there's quite a lot in the old Disc Golf Valley. I don't really get too deep into it. I just I play the daily challenge every day, just something to take the mind off work at Smoko. You know what I mean?
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and then a couple of rounds here and there.
If we want to get involved today, we do have a Sweet Chain Live league. Is that what it's called? I guess it is. A challenge. The code is 26TB, 26TB, Tango Bravo. If you want to get involved, log on to Disc Golf Valley and play that. Morgan, have you done it for today already?
Yeah, I did do it for today, but I accidentally signed out of it before. So if you want your score to stay up on the leaderboard, just leave it running in the background of your phone. I shot a 7 down, and last time I checked, Calvin was at 7 down with about 3 or 4 to play. So he's probably pipped me on that one. But guys, if you're going to do it, go into Disc Golf Valley, jump onto is it online or multiplayer? I actually can't remember which way to go. Tom?
Multiplayer, I think.
Multiplayer? Yeah, jump into multiplayer and then join group, and 26TB is that code to enter. And we'll at the end of the show, we'll see where the points are sitting.
Fantastic. So the plan for today is we're going to go through hot scores. Then we're going to bring on our guest tonight, who is Phil Botha. And Phil won the Smallbone Slam. So we're going to go through the results of that, then talk to Phil. And then after that, we've got going to do the Discdle. We're going to have a look at Worlds, which is upcoming. That starts next week, Morgan. This time next week on the show, they will have played the
21st of August. That's kicking off, and we've got a little something brewing in the background for that one, which we'll bring up at the appropriate time.
If you're a betting person, then you stay tuned for that. You also, a bit later on, we're going to go through Disc Golf Valley. We're going to check to see how everyone's doing. I'm so bad at that game, but yeah, we're going to see how everyone's doing. Upcoming events, power rankings, and I think that should be it for us for today. So sit back, relax, Morgan, take us through the South.
I, again, have been very bad and closed that one up too, but I have quickly found it. Hot scores this week in the southern part of New Zealand, kicking us off down in Queen's Park, Mr. Hayden Edgley with a 13 under par this week. Isa, 4 under par at Chingford down in Dunedin this week. Brockville, Calvin Cummings holds the keys with a par. It's an even par. Up into my neck of the woods, Queenstown Gardens, Russ King. He shoots an 11 under hot round this week. Lismore Park, and as usually always, I don't think he was on last week, but Mundo McDisk shoots 12 down at Lismore this week. Jelly Park, Ashton Clark, 16 under par. Absolute fire from Ashton. Gregory Suckling, 10 under par, gets it done at Warren Park this week. Mr. Schicker at Smallbone Reserve shoots a 14 under par. I will also caveat that by saying Phil Botha at the Smallbone Slam did shoot better than that, but I'll hold on to his score for just now. Khalil Shearer, Queen's Park Reserve, he shot a 6 under par. 4 under par gets it done by Stephen Dory at Saxton Field, and rounding out the north of the south at Branford Park, Mr. Alex Batten. Holy Moses, 15 under par. Mr. Alex Batten gets it done. That's us in the south.
What a score.
That is a huge score. How do we do at the bottom of the north?
North Island did very, very well this week. Brady Cush leads the way at Berrenport with a 7 under par. As we head across the water to Hikoikoi, Ben Morrison and Flavio Mayorga tie for the lead at 3 under. Harcourt Park, Andy Davey gets it done with a 4 under par. And up at Linklater, Joel Simpson's 10 down is enough for this week's hot score. Up at Maryland's, Jed and Jason Gray can't decide who's best, tying as they've done at 5 under par. And at Spa Park Black, Glyn Mulder hits a +4. Over at Henderson, Matt Huang hits 8 under par, and 8 under par is enough for Jackson Sullivan to take the hot score at Woodville. And then Stephen Gardner, Mario, and Oscar make it a tripartite podium with a 6 under par each this week in Rosedale. Congratulations to everybody there.
Was that a tripartite?
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what the right... It was, but I'm not sure that's the right word to use because it's, I don't know.
I might have to Google that. I've got to be honest, I don't know if that's ever gone through these airwaves.
Well, it would... So tripartite would be the correct word to use to describe an agreement between 3 people, but whether it would describe... Anyway, we're digressing. Right, let's get on to the results, shall we? Let's go to the Smallbones, to the Smallbone Slam, because that's far more interesting. In MPO, the winner, it was our guest tonight, Mr. Phil Botha, and as you can see on the results there, if Tom could just flash the ratings up for each round, his final round there clocks in at a 1060.
He's only just found out that it was 1060 as well. He thought it was 1056.
It got rounded up, I think, when they kind of did their thing. So 1060, okay? Can we just put this into perspective for a moment? Right? Morgan, we did a quiz on this. How many different people have ever shot 1060 before in New Zealand?
1. Oh, people or Kiwis?
Both.
Oh, 1 Kiwi. 2 people. Maybe 3.
So the answer is obviously Francis Orange hit a 1078 at Lismore.
Yep.
Francis Orange also hit 1060 at Lismore, and Levi hit a 1063 at the Topor Classic.
Yep.
So 2 Kiwis. And they're obviously of New Zealanders. That doesn't include. I think did what's his name?
Drew Gibson.
Corey Ellis.
Obviously
Drew. Yeah, Drew Gibson did, and obviously Corey Ellis, I think, shot something close to that when he was here. But that's the 3rd highest round shot by a third highest rated Kiwi round. Does that make sense?
Yep, and it's absolutely incredible. You know what makes it even more incredible, Matt?
Yeah.
He had a 2 or 3 person film crew solely filming him and taking photos of him for the whole day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll hear more about that, about what's going on there. But
we'll definitely be bringing that up.
I mean, imagine the pressure. They're not filming anyone else.
He looked pretty cool,
but,
calm and collected to me all weekend.
He's a pretty cool, calm and collected character. If we both know Phil, he's calm as. So I mean, he beats the rest of the MPO field by 6 shots, and his closest competitor by 7. It's easily the hot score of the weekend. No one else shooting over 979. I can see a 979 there. 2 979s. So beats the rest of the field by like 80 ratings points, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Smashed us all.
Dylan Dedman Nahui and Isaac Sasanuma Howard and Jack Maffey round out the podium in MPO. Sam Cole in 5th. Down into MA1 and Billy Roberts and Ben Schicker battling to the end. Billy Roberts doing enough in the final round just to sneak ahead of Ben and take out the honours.
I believe Billy was my lock last week in the pop lock and drop.
Very good. Rainer Pye and Logan MacArthur finished 3rd, 4th. Magnus Davidson with a good showing in 5th.
Yeah,
I think that's probably noteworthy. In FA1, Amanda Hooper wins the FA1 division. In MA40, quite a slim field, this one. Kurt Graham, with his first PDGA event, takes the win out with a 940 rated, 944, I think, rated tournament. So well done to him. FA14, it's Jessica Robert, who takes the win out fairly comfortably over Natasha Sim. And in MA50, Gregor Brosnahan, which I think we both commented on last week as being probably favourite for this division, beats out Leon Botha and Andrew Falconer.
Well, we said we'll always pick Gregor until someone actually beats him.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
it's as simple as that, really. How do you make another choice when you're picking these winners of these divisions? If the guy's just been winning every single event that he attends, can't go against the grain.
In FA50, Janine Frost with a good performance with a +4. That's a very good tournament from Janine. MA60, Donald Booth takes out the win, and Nico Prentice wins in MA2. Playoff over Glenn Whelan?
No playoff. I think they both just finished. No playoff.
Just a tie for first, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Tie for first. Sam Hall and Taylor Keane also a tie for 3rd. And down in MA3, Ruben Darrell takes out a small victory over James Hall and Dane Gardner. FA3, Katie Schneider wins by 2 strokes over Nikki Dalloway, and Chloe Graham takes out the win relatively comfortably over Mackenzie Craig in FJ18. And finally, Bailey Gardner wins comfortably in MJ.
Yeah, making the likes of me with my 8 down look silly. I tell you what, this is an awesome.
I've just noticed that. That's incredible.
Because there was no BTs. Excuse me. Well, it was a pretty awesome event for just like a one-day C tier, man. They had all the fluff. Yeah, they had all the fluff out there.
Yeah.
Ewan's just becoming notorious for really putting everything out there for all of these events. Everything he can get his hands on. We had the big Altitude Brewing inflatable archway on hole 1 as the first Mando, which wasn't really a Mando. If you missed that, you probably shouldn't be playing disc golf because it was over the front of the tee. And then another one about 70, 80 meters down, a much smaller Altitude Brewing triple. It was an incredible first hole of the course.
Yeah. What are the grounds like? I mean, would it scale to a larger kind of 2-day event?
Or probably not really.
BTs maybe?
Nah, not really. It's not a big property. It's exactly what it's suited for, I think, as a one-day event. Unless you were doing, I feel like if you were doing a 2-dayer, you'd need to do something a little silly and almost make it 3 rounds in one day, because you could easily do it.
I see. Because I mean, and look, not every event has to try and become like a huge 3-day, behemoth of an event.
Absolutely not.
There is a market for very well run 1-day events.
Yeah, and I mean, you go through that list and you start clicking on a bunch of these players' names, especially the ones that are near the top, and they're all Ashburton locals that most of the scene probably doesn't know. It was really refreshing for me to be at an event where I knew maybe a third of the field would be generous. You know, I don't get that when I go to the big events. Weirdly, you could have 200 people at a bigger event, and I'll know every single one of them. You go to this, you get to meet another 40 new people, see what the scene's doing in those local areas. I really like it. I love these one-day events. I really do.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. Well, look, let's bring him on because we want to chat to him. So, good evening, Phil.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Kia ora, Phil.
How's it going? How are you? Still buzzing after the weekend?
Still pretty excited. Pretty happy with my showing of the event. Say being a 922 rated player and shooting, averaging I think it was 1,011 last I saw was my event average was crazy. Pretty happy to perform to the level that I know I can, using both my skills, my left and right-handed capabilities. So
I actually did want to ask you that. I sort of brought it up during one of my rounds with one of my card mates. I was like, he's got the left and right, the lefty and righty. Like, you were using it all over the course, changing it up.
Indeed, I was. There were a good mix of holes there that required both shot shapes from me. Definitely leaning still on the right hand backhand more of the drives, and it was feeling pretty hot on the putting for both rounds. But definitely a few holes there with the left hand just made a lot more sense.
So this is a question mostly for me and anyone that's watching that was at the event. Did you throw any forehands anywhere on the course, firstly?
From memory, no, I did not. It was only backhands.
I was going to say my question's null and void then, because I wanted to know why you would choose the forehand over the lefty backhand on a particular hole. But if you didn't do it, there you go. Forehands are a waste of time, everybody. You heard it here first.
Well, okay, so let's just start this. For those of us who are a little bit more stressfully challenged than yourself, how did you come about being able to throw with both hands? Because people can't just do that. So, like, tell us your story. Because you could. This is a thing. If people didn't know, Phil can throw with his right hand as well or as his left. Tell us a story. What's happened?
The origin story is nothing too crazy. Essentially, I was a right-hand dominant player coming into the sport. I'd played for about 2.5 years, throwing primarily backhand, but I say progressing my forehand as well. Being initially, a one-handed player, having both shot shapes was needed. And I think just at some point while learning forehand, I'm not sure if I just threw with too much power or kind of what happened exactly, but I tweaked one of the joints in my middle finger, which proved to be troubling because it made it really hard to not only grip my discs, but also to throw them. So it was during a time where not only was I playing quite a lot, but so was my family, and I was playing events just about every month. So it was one of those things where I wanted to go out and keep playing. And use my right hand. I thought, well, if I can't use my right hand, how hard would it be just to mirror my right hand form, having been in the game for about 2 years and having a better understanding of the form, and simply just copying it over to the left hand. And say the injury itself took about probably 2 to 3 months to recover. And in that time, I was like, okay, well, I'll just learn to throw left-handed. How hard could it be? And being a naturally, dominant, like I say, right-handed player, switching to left hand, I mean, as most players would kind of recognize very quickly, is that it feels very awkward to start off with. It's not something that feels comfortable in any way, shape, or form. Holding this, never mind actually trying to throw with it. So it was something that kind of just developed as just an alternative at the time, just because why not? And now having stuck with it for a few months, and I think I've been ambidextrous now for at least the last 2.5, 3 years. It's something that's just kind of just added to my game, and I find it a lot easier getting distance out of backhand shots compared to forehand shots. And as we've seen, say in disc golf, you're a lot less injury prone throwing backhands than you are forehands. So it's just something that's kind of made more sense to me. It's why I've kind of generally leaned on it more for distance shots. I still find forehands are good for those kind of niche approach shots where you kind of get in trouble. You don't have that full range of motion, but primarily having backhands, say both left and right, has proved invaluable to my game.
Yep.
I have to say, I mean, some people, probably myself included, if they suffered the injury you did, probably would have gone, I'll just pack it in for a couple of months, just wait till it heals, right? I can't be asked learning left hand. Because I don't know if you've just done what me and Morgan have both done and put a disc into our left hand and somehow tried to go, now this works. Morgan, how are you with this? Because my left hand is just painted on,
I
so
can
I don't
barely
really
even
know
grip
whether
it.
this...
It feels so weird.
It does, doesn't it? I mean, we've all done those things where, I mean,
trying to throw a left-handed tennis ball or something.
Yeah, well, we've had events at our monthly Hosker here in Wellington where it's like, you play the round with your offhand or you drive with your offhand, and it goes about 2 meters and everyone laughs and then you can carry on playing. But like to get to the stage where you can be, and it's not, I don't think it's even like competent. It's got to be in your head, isn't it? You've got to feel confidence in it. It's not just being able to execute it. It's knowing that I can execute this time and time and time and time again, and I've got the confidence to be able to step up and take that shot with my offhand in a time that it matters. Crazy.
I just want to bring up, Phil, the fact that you are a disc golf coach as well as a salesperson at DSS. You're down at Jelly Park very regularly, weekly, teaching people how to throw discs. New players rather are always coming down through the course, and I suppose you must be breaking down the science of how to throw a disc to sort of teach that and implement it into the newer players. Is that sort of, I guess, can you relate that back into your own game to teach your left hand? Not that you have to teach your left hand anymore, but did you have to?
So when it comes to teaching newer players, it's more so breaking it down and just putting into the fundamentals what makes up a good backhand and forehand shot that I found to really advance my game, say throwing more left-handed shots than right-hand. And it's something even I'm using now today to still kind of better develop my current right-hand backhand. Because one of the things I've found, say, teaching other players over time is that, say, you're always working on your form. Your form's not always going to be perfect. Everyone's always going to want to try and throw further, develop their game, try and improve their consistency. And definitely, teaching people has definitely developed my game and helped me better understand what I'm trying to do out in the course and how to kind of better improve my own form.
Yeah, I feel like just voicing it actually out loud could maybe even trigger a few things in my own mind if I was to start doing something similar. But I think a lot of people, including myself, we kind of just keep going through the rhythm and the motions that we've been doing for all these years and sort of stay at a semi-consistent like this, up and down ratings-wise, I suppose, sort of game. But yeah, voicing it probably helps a hell of a lot.
Do you throw forehand with your left hand as well?
Not out on the course. I dabble on it quite a bit in my field work just to try and again get comfortable with it and possibly start using it out on the course. But as being such a strong
that feels even more weird than backhand. I mean, even with backhand, I can kind of move my body around and it might go somewhere forwards, but
I find like power wise for backhand, if you're throwing distance shots, it is actually an easier shot to learn on your offhand compared to those more kind of touch shots like your approach shots and especially putting stuff that requires a lot of like wrist flick. I still find that not 100% under control with my left hand. So power shots are definitely the easiest shot to learn, and this is something that I use quite a lot. Not so much on the putting side yet, but it's definitely something I'm working on in my spare time. Is just getting comfortable with throwing forehands and especially that putting for when it gets stuck in those situations where it just makes sense to have that disc finish the other way and still have that control.
Well, I was going to say you've got like twice as many shots now, right? So if you're comfortable throwing the forehand, that is. But even so, there are times when you want a lefty backhand shape. Something that's gonna perhaps take longer to fade than you might get with a sidearm. And I think that's incredible. That kind of that choice that you have must make things a lot. Does it make it easier, or just having the extra choice kind of you get that kind of thing where you're at a buffet and you're like, I don't know what to have. and it like was it buyer's regret? And you know what I mean. Everyone knows what I mean when I say that. You know, when you kind of go up and you, I'll pick that one, and afterwards you go, actually, maybe you shouldn't have done it. Have you ever had? Does that come into it or not really?
Having worked on it for so long, I don't have that problem at all. At all, I very rarely have the issue. It's like, oh, how do I approach this? Do I throw right hand forehand? Am I feeling my right hand backhand today? I have gotten quite comfortable with, okay, if I'm playing the left hand backhand rather than my forehand, if it's like a distance shot, but if it's an approach shot or something that's shorter, then I will still lean on my right hand forehand. So it's not a part of my game that I've given up on now that I have the backhand. But just something that kind of adds to it. It doesn't tend to overcomplicate things too much now that I've worked on it for so long. But initially, that was definitely an issue that came up, is how do I want to approach this hole now that I have this new arsenal of shots, for sure.
I don't know, Matt. Are you gonna go out and practice your lefty backhands after the show?
Well, okay. Look, so I know someone in Wellington who went through a similar kind of thing to you. I don't know if people know Deb Mills, and what she did, she actually broke her arm. I think it was she was primarily a lefty player, and she broke her hand, or she had to have some operation on her wrist. She had it in a cast for some time, and so she learned to play right-handed, and now can do both.
She mostly throws right hand now, doesn't she?
I don't know. I think she probably does, but she was predominantly left-handed previously, and now she can throw both. So I'm kind of, I kind of think to myself, well, if I did break my arm, it's not a complete disaster, because at least you come out of it if you put the work in. You got to put the work in. That's
it sounds like twice as much work to me, though. I'll put that out there.
Oh, and it's frustrating work to begin with. It must have been, when you're first learning how to do this, it must have been like, oh my word, let's just go on a day where there's no one else about, so that I don't hold them up or whatever.
Phil, I want to go back to the tournament. Yes. I just jumped onto my phone for just a moment there. I was trying to search for a post that I seen hours ago. You had a media team with you for the event, just out there, not adding any pressure at all, it seems. Want to just talk to us about that? What was going on there? Who were they, and what were they there for?
Okay, so I did have a media crew out there with me. I had someone doing videography for me and someone doing photography. They are part of a small New Zealand company here called Lensflare Media. I had a gentleman by the name of Morgan and Ollie covering me for the events, taking photos and videos of both rounds. And essentially, one of the main reasons I had them there for was to promote my sponsorship with Innova, being on Team Innova New Zealand, as well as to promote disc golf in the health and fitness atmosphere, because that's something that they normally cover, is fitness, again, running, gym, that type of stuff. So just kind of branching out for them, and actually getting my name out there and disc golf and Innova and the likes.
Yeah, awesome. And they were with you every step of the way. I mean, even between rounds, before round, after rounds, I seen them. They were just taking photos of you. Anything you were doing, every single little thing, wiping the discs off, checking the chalk bag, having a chin wag. They were there. So I'm excited to see what these guys are going to produce.
Yeah, well, like I said, that they have already put some photos out on their Instagram. You can see right now of me at the event, and there is going to be a wee kind of short form, not so much documentary, but more like an interview type format of kind of how I was feeling going into the event. There's going to be some videos of again, some of the shots I played. I was feeling pretty hot during the event, so it's cool to have them there and to film that. Again, this was the second round was my highest ever rated round, and obviously I was mic'd up for that as well. So not only did I have them video me, I thought, why not? Let's go mic'd up for the last round.
That's incredible.
So hopefully, we can use some of that as well to make the final film. But it was pretty exciting.
Did they film the whole round then? Have they got everything?
They would. So they wouldn't have filmed everything. They would have filmed majority of the shots. Again, it would mainly just been a few of the shots here and there, rather than like a full coverage like what Flexline Media would have done in the past.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because I mean, right. So let's talk us through the round then. And sounds like you talked through it when they were doing the filming. So I don't want to do any spoilers or anything. But at what point were you kind of going, wait a minute, there's something going on here? There's, because there's at some point that you kind of go, nah, I'm doing something different to everybody else, right? And I'm just trying to figure out. Look at this. Is it one of those ones where you all start on hole 1, or did you? What hole did you start in?
So being the card start on hole 1.
Oh yeah, so you started on hole 1. So you were 3 down through 4. And I'm just having a look at this, but you were 3 down through 4 in the first round, so you probably thought, meh, there's nothing much there. But then you went on a streak of 7 birdies in a row, and so you are 10 down through 12. Is it around that kind of time that you were kind of going, hold it?
It was doing close to around that time. If not a couple holes after, I was like, okay, these birdies are just coming one after another. Everything is going to plan. I was joking with say a few of the guys on the card, saying that if you guys also had a media crew filming you'd play better shots, because so having them film both rounds, got plenty comfortable with them. And it was funny because we did actually have it on one of the holes where some of the guys took videos when they were throwing their shots and actually threw perfect shots onto the green with no issue. It was one of those things I was joking. I was like, bring my entourage with me. Filmed round. People we were thinking that I was playing better because I'm only 922 rated at this point in time. I started to jump up 7 rating points, so getting closer to probably my true rating now. But yeah, it was definitely about 12, 13 holes in where I was like, okay, just keep playing the shots, keep playing the lines I know how to play. And I found myself just putting it inside the circle and then making the putt, putting inside the circle, making the putt.
It was such a super attackable course, right?
Yeah, 100%. Every hole was reachable. Nothing was out of reach from that course.
I feel like I just kept saying to myself throughout the round, I was like, oh, just inside. I was inside on almost every single shot. I'm just like, especially on first round, and you go into round 2, it's just like, just a little out there, go for there instead of just here. Ah, shit, it's inside again. God damn it. And it's just, everything was so doable. And I think, you managed to just attack and get everything almost.
Yeah. Yeah, I say 15 out of 18 holes was insane. I say that the only couple of holes that I missed was just one kind of off drive, kind of one off putt, and then I think another one was just an off drive. So 2 bad drives, but my scrambling game was on point. So managed to save pars on the holes that I did miss, and the holes that I executed exactly what I needed to do, obviously all birdies.
Yeah, nice one. Did you were right behind me in round 2. Did you get to see the absolute disappointment of my spit out ace on 17?
I was kind of locked into my game, but I did hear the cries of "oh no!" And I did hear the chain out and realize.
I think it would have been my best ace ever. It's like 102 meters righty backhand turnover through all the chains and hit the bottom of the cage and scooped out.
An insane hole to get a chain out for sure.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh well. Next time. Anything else exciting happening in your part of the your neck of the woods anyway, Phil? Anything outside of disc golf?
Outside disc golf, right now, I've been working on it for a few months now. I'm currently learning a new language. So right now, English is my first and only language, even though I do initially come from South Africa. So I speak Afrikaans as kind of like a secondary language, but I don't know enough to say that I can speak it fluently. And I've recently been dabbling in some French, which I've learned for about 3 months, 4 months now. So that journey is going on quite nicely, and I'd like to head over to Europe soon and put some of that teaching into action.
Oh, there you go. That's amazing.
Fantastic.
I like that. I like that.
As far as it goes. So have you got, what events you got coming up, Phil? What can we see you in?
Right now, the next event I say I'm lined up for is the Hagley Huck at the Hagley Park Golf Course here in Christchurch again. We'll look at, I say, lining up a few more competitions before, I say, the year ends. Looking to put on a bit more social media content than what I have had in the past. So focusing my time more so on promoting those. Again, getting just a few more events in before the end of the year. But right now, the Hagley Huck is going to be my next event.
Fantastic. And I mean, 1060, that's 57 ratings points higher than your previous highest round.
Indeed.
Which is just incredible. I mean, what the people in Smallbone witnessed in terms of your second round was nothing more than history. Really, that was incredible. So very well done for the performance there. And look, if you're in Christchurch, if you don't know, well, first up, if you play disc golf, if you're watching this and you live in Christchurch, you probably know about Jelly Park, and you probably know about Phil and the services that he offers down at Jelly Park. Is it every Sunday you go down
So
there?
every Sunday at Jelly Park, for one, from 10 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, I'm down there offering free lessons, coaching advice, and the likes.
Excellent. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this podcast, then you're probably either a disc golfer or you know someone who is a disc golfer and they've got it on in the background. But I would encourage you to head down to Jelly Park on a Sunday and go and see Phil and get a lesson or two, or even a tip, or even just say, hey, can you watch me throw off hole one, and get him to do a bit of an assessment of your form, because it'll be well worth the time. And go and see the guys down there as well. If you need to pick up some stuff, then you can do from the guys in the trailer as well. So yeah, look, Phil, it's been a pleasure having you on. Very much a friend of the show. It's been great having you talk us through your historic round at the weekend, and very much looking forward to catching up with you in person next time.
Thank you again for having me on the show, and wish you guys a good evening.
Shot, Phil. You're a legend, mate.
See you later, Phil. Have
Cheers,
a good
guys.
one.
Bye.
See you, bro.
Yo. Morgan, wow. I mean, that round is just ridiculous, wasn't it?
Oh, it was outstanding, you know. Yeah, I kind of got to witness it behind my card. I was on chase card, so I did see them coming most of the way. Yeah, he was just parking everything, or there or thereabouts, just making the putts, making it look easy.
That's insane.
Yeah,
insane.
Sure.
Right,
just having a look into the chat really quickly. Sorry, Matt. I've since we're running things slightly different in the background, I just thought I'd run quickly through the chat.
Yeah. Well, whilst you're doing that, I think I've heard from our producer Tom's been in my ear saying that we've got quite a few people playing Disc Golf Valley. So we'll leave it for a minute or two if you want to if people still want to go in and play. The code is 26TB. Is this week's league, and we're going to be a bit more organised on this in the future, and we're going to get the code sent out a little bit before the show rather than in the show notes, so you've got a little bit of time to play before the show starts. If you watch this show on your phone, then you may not be able to, I don't know, play the game and do the thing. I don't know how it works. But
not tech savvy enough.
I really am not tech savvy. I'll have to get the data analytics team to help me out there. Now, Discdle. Have you been playing Discdle, Morgan?
Not for a couple of days now. I haven't. I'm going to be honest. I forgot the last 2 days. I think last time I did it was 3 days ago, Monday.
Because since I was forwarded this a week or so ago, it might have even been 2 weeks ago. In the old farts chat, every day, 4 o'clock, bang, someone comes in and just reminds everybody that it's on. And several people go through. But the first question I want to ask, and this is a question for chat as well, and the right answer is it doesn't matter. Okay, you can play it how you like, right? I don't care how you play the game; it's up to you. But question, and producer Tom is smirking in the background. But quick question for chat. Whilst playing Discdle, are you allowed to look up manufacturer flight path flight charts? You know the ones you can find if you go on latitude.com/flight chart, whatever, it would be there. Are you allowed, chat? What's your view on this? Are you allowed to look up manufacturer flight charts, or do you look up manufacturer flight charts? So should I say you're allowed to do anything you want, but like.
So chat answering that. I'll give you my take on it. I think so. I think
you think
so.
You are okay.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun. Do you know what I mean? And I think I can't remember if we mentioned it on the show last week, Arne and I, or if we actually just mentioned it in a chat that we've got going. But once I get outside of Innova, Discmania, and maybe one other brand on there, I'm really going to struggle. Arne and I did it on last week's show, and it was a MVP Ion. Don't even think I've seen that disc before.
Yeah. Yeah. It was an anode, I think. Yeah.
Anode.
But yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, exactly.
Now,
so no idea.
So you're okay with it. Now, personally, I think, isn't that the game? Like, isn't the point of the game that you should know what the discs are? Like, if you look them up, then it's just like, who can look it up?
Who owns the game? Do the disc manufacturers own the game? Is this their idea of getting you onto their website to go and look at their discs? Because it's working.
It does. But I do get your point, because if so, Latitude I'm pretty all right with, Discraft I'm okay with, and then I'm not very hot on Innova, and I'm not very hot on Discmania. Discmania is the worst for me. I don't know, because all the discs sound the same, right? MDs and FDs and PDs and all that. I don't like, name your disc something. Prodigy are worse for it, but name your disc something, right? Rather than giving it some code. I mean, it just sounds like it hasn't. Just think of a name. Anyway, and then I'm all right with Dynamic and Casterplast, and MVP I'm okay at, but like Discmania is where I'm particularly poor. But anyway,
are we running it on the show right now?
Yes, we're going to play it. We're going to play it now.
Right.
So, chat, if you haven't done it for today, then feel free to join us in. Producer Tom, are you coming in on the show as well? Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Right, let's have a look then. Go on, because I've got the thing up on my thing, so it might take a moment. Excellent. Can you just share your screen with us, with me, Tom, so I can see it live, so that we don't have the delay.
1 moment.
The dulcet tone you can hear in the background is producer Tom, who's beavering away in the background to get this up on the screen. Here it is. Right, here we go then. Right, where are we going to start?
So how do you like to start? Do you like to start somewhere up the middle, like a mid-range, or do you just like to jump into one end of the spectrum?
So it took about 2 days into doing this with the old farts chat before I asked the question, what's the best disc to start with? And then we came up with, well, okay, so it doesn't matter what the manufacturer is, because it could be any one of them. But you do want, ideally, if you're thinking about it, a middle of the line speed, a middle of the line glide, a middle turn, and a middle fade. So we said the Innova Cheetah was pretty close to being middle of the road. So let's start with that, and you'll see what the flight numbers are, and you'll see what we mean. Although I do think it's got slightly more turn, perhaps, than we
Let's
want.
go. Oh.
6.4 minus 2.2. Right. So we got Innova. This right. Tell you what, when you get the manufacturer first, that makes a difference. But we're way down on the speed, so it's a driver with a 2 fade, slightly more glide, and slightly less turn. So does that mean it's like a -3.2? So could it? I want to say. Is it
cheating
if
I pull a disc out my bag right now to my left?
Yeah, we don't need to do that. So if it's is a turn a -3 3, or is a turn a -2? Yeah, -3.2.
Is that what you're getting in the chat, is it? No, it's not there.
No. I used to throw a turn, believe it or not.
I've never, ever had a turn in the bag. Give a turn a go, though. Let's see where that goes.
Try turn. I think it's a -3.3, so it might not be right. But let's have a go at this.
Up, down.
Oh, -3.2. I was close.
It's a 5
glide.
So
5 glide, but -1.
So 13,
5 -1 or -1 or lower, right? So it could be 0, but 2 is the fade. So now we're thinking, oh, come on,
13, 5. Is that a boss?
Could well be. Try it. I don't know Innova, but it sounds.
I just want to see a type of boss in there. I'm just waiting for Phil to shake his head in the green room at me.
Oh, it's close.
Oh my god,
that's incredibly close. Right.
So what is 13.5 neg 1.2?
What 13.5 neg 1? Shrike is a -2.2.
We know what the disc is, but we don't know the name of it. And this is why the flight chart comes in handy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but then so we Shrike from you and in the chat. I think a Shrike is a -2.2. I'm fairly.
Is a Shrike a 13 speed or is it a 12?
I think it might be a 12. I think it might be 12.
Yeah, I think it's a 12.
We've got a Charger in chat.
Charger by Louis.
That's a good shout. That's a great shout,
Okay.
actually.
Morgan's
I like that.
confident. You throw way more Innova than I do, Morgan. So let's try Charger.
It also could be a 12-speed. Just putting that out there.
And we got it.
There it is. Yes. GG Louis Hickson in the chat.
Shot Louis Hickson.
Very good.
Oh, Jake Mikula. Shrike's a 13.5, Nig 2.2.
Very good. But
This is 13.
Morgan, you asked previously what was the how do you start? Cheetah, in this case, was the right way to go. So
last time I played a few days ago, I started off at the bottom of the scale with like a pig.
Okay.
And it just went up.
Yeah,
up,
well, that's what I mean.
Like,
so you don't. It doesn't.
So I went to the other end, and I went super high speed, something crazy, and it was still up almost across the board. I was like, well, that was lucky. So I got it in like 2 more goes. I can't remember what it was.
Well, it's one of those. I'm not sure. I think Cheetah's a pretty good place to start because it's kind of middle of the road. Middle of the road speed, middle of the road. It's a little bit higher glide. Well, no, it's about middle glide because you tend to have higher glide numbers. Turn is, I think you tend to have lower turnovers, lower turn numbers. Sorry, so there's not many discs with a -2 or -3 turn. So I think you could probably push the turn to a 0 and then maybe have fade as a 1. So if you know a speed 7, like an Explorer would be pretty good. Is that a speed 7 or a River? Might be all right. Would be a good.
I think this is a speed 7, a FD. Are they 7s?
Yeah, I don't know my disc manias, I'll be honest, but yeah. Anyway, that's Discdle for this week. So yeah, tune in and add us as a friend. Tom's just put the thing in so you can track the scores as you go and see how we're getting on. Right, let's go over to
Disc Golf Valley.
Let's go over to Disc Golf Valley and let's see how people are getting on.
Ooh.
Are we okay?
Yeah. I'm not sure what he's sharing.
Sorry? Yeah, let's go to where should we go? Should we go Worlds first? Let's do Worlds first.
Yep.
Now, the World Championship starts in just under a week, Morgan. It's very exciting.
Isn't it just?
It looks like it's going to be pretty tight. I haven't seen. There's a couple of players obviously been playing well, but it's normally you're thinking, well, Beth's going to be there, but I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be there or thereabouts because he's not really been all that.
It's not that he's not been. These other guys are really just,
That's true.
they're really just extending themselves right now.
That's it. And I don't know whether we can get Worlds up on the screen.
So Gannon Burr is the highest rated player right now at 10.53 with Ricky behind him at 10.51.
So, I mean, Morgan, do you have a pick? Do you have a pick on who you think's going to take it out?
I'd love to see a battle of the Robinson brothers
again. You want to see Isaac win again?
Yeah, I do. No, I said I want to see the battle of them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I think I really would. I'm a big fan of Nicholas Antela.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see him right up there. Man, could it be Ricky's year?
I kind of want it to be I quite like Ricky as a player. I know he annoys a few people, but I think I really like him as a player.
Oh, he's great. He's great, man, and like he's playing hot right now.
Yeah, but then I also want to see if Matt Oram wins, that's the best result, right?
What are you going to do on the show in 2 weeks' time if Matty O wins?
Oh, I don't know, but that's just the best. That would be the best result, I think. I certainly won't be singing, but but I don't know if people can hear producer Tom still. They probably can't. But that was his comment. No, I also going down the list. There's a lot of people that have everybody's rating seems to have dropped. Is it just me or?
I don't know, but I'm looking a long way down the list there, and we've got James Conrad at 10.23.
Yeah, right.
That's a long way down that list, It
is a long way down the list, but I don't know if you saw this. Levi Stout's rating got bumped the other day to 10.22.
Holy
So his in the last update, which was Tuesday just gone.
So his rating is 1 point higher than former world champion Greg Barsby.
Yep, and only 1 point.
There's a stat for you.
And one below former world champion James Conrad. And the same as Jeremy Colling, Nathan Queen, etc. So look, but anyway, it's going to be a tight one, I think. It's going to be a tight one. Chat, who's your money on? Because if you are a betting person, then we want to let you know of a sweepstake that you can get involved in. So Arne Burgess, friend of the show, Arne Burgess is running a sweepstake for Worlds. It works like this. You can choose whether you want to enter MPO or FPO. And what happens is Arne will take all of the entries. I think it's $5 a go. And then when just before Worlds kicks off, you'll be given a name, and then you cheer that person on. You can enter as many times as you like. What's going to happen is if, for example, 20 people enter, then the top 20 rated players will each go out into the people who are competing in the event. Will be the people being drawn out of the hat. So even if there's lots of people entering and you think, oh, well, I've got no chance because there's 80 odd people who have entered, as we've seen, it's you know, you can go pretty deep. World's Whisperer Emerson Keefe at 1028 rated is what 30 odd names down. So there's every chance. Got a lot of time for Emerson actually. And so yeah, I mean, if you're involved, if you want to be involved in that, look out for a social media post from Arne, who'll be sending that out, and get involved. And please gamble responsibly. But yeah, if you want to see how you get on with a sweepstake for Worlds, it gives you something else to, you know, if you've got a horse in the race, it always makes it a little bit more entertaining.
MPO and FPO, correct, Matt?
MPO and FPO, yeah. Run as two separate pots. So yeah, if you want to enter one and not the other, then that's totally up to you. But yeah, they'll go deep as long as it's as many people who are entering. So yeah,
nice one. Now, producer Tom in the background on our screen, I'm unsure if it's on the main screen for everyone, has got the Discdle Valley up on the screen, and I'm seeing.
Here we go.
I'm seeing a few people, but I'm assuming a few people have dipped out. Is that correct, or have you just scrolled down?
We can just scroll down. So hold it.
Yeah. So if you go back to your name, can you just scroll back up to yours? I think because you haven't started around, it's hiding most of the scores. Just FYI, and FYI, I shot a 7 down and I left, so that was stupid.
Oh, but it shows the total. The total is correct, right? So who's winning of the people who have finished around here? Arne's got 23. Kelvin's got.
Oh
yeah, but they haven't finished all the holes. So there's a 20.
Yeah, there's still some people playing.
And there's a 20 for Kelvin. 21, 25, another 20. That's Kelvin. Yeah.
Yeah. What's hottest score there?
Phil.
No, 19.
19. Louis. Is that Louis Hickson?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Oh, maybe. Oh, I'm one behind him. Woo! This is a bit of fun. Something different, for the week.
We shall do this every week, and I shall try and enter. If we send it out early, then I'll try and remember to enter and do it. But I'm pretty awful, so yeah.
I think that was the problem. Is I did mine at about 20 past 8 and then left my phone, and I think I just automatically closed all my tabs to have less things running, and I was like, crap. As soon as you leave or close the app. As soon as you close the app or hit the leave button, it takes your score out. So you need to have it running in the background. That's why mine's back to 0.
I see. So more, but we're getting some comments in the chat saying most are done. There is 11 under score. There's an 11 under somewhere in there. 11 under would be what's the par here? Par here is 30, so an 11 down would be
Oh no, there's 4s in there, dummy.
Well, if you want.
Yeah, I think you should definitely play around. And we're going to comment. We'll commentate this.
Wow, here we go.
Oh,
What did Holder
my
start
goodness.
off? Tunnel.
What's that? 108-meter tunnel straight
My
up the
word.
middle. What's he throwing here?
It's got to be. What's he got? I think he might throw a compass, Morgan. I'll be honest.
I think we might watch hole 1 and then come back to him at hole 7.
I think that might be a good idea. Yeah. That's too much hyzer on a compass.
Has anyone in the chat here played this on anything other than the phone? Because I have never seen it not on a phone.
Yeah, I've only seen it played on a phone. Is it easier on the phone or easier on your PC? I can imagine it would be. I mean, I prefer a PC game over a.
Oh, he's going high game. Team or a little hyzer.
That's too much hyzer.
Is he going to be in the branches? Can we put him off his game?
I think so. We just niced it. No, we didn't. He's parred it. Very well done.
We'll leave.
He's got a putt.
He's putting. We're going to leave Tom here.
He's going to carry on playing.
Tom, let's catch back up with you on hole 9. I think.
So.
Oh, that's gold. There was some big holes on there to just have a compass on. A compass and a dagger.
Yeah, he's on hole 1 of the beast, and I would not like to just take a 2-disc round to that.
Although you guys can't see it, but he's putting.
Anyway, let's get on with the show, Morgan. Let's go to now upcoming events, because we've got some new ones that have entered the calendar. So let's bring up the upcoming events onto the screen.
You're really throwing him under in the hot seat here, middle of his round, bringing this up.
Sorry, Tom. So upcoming events now is Blood Sacrifice is the next event, along with Black Ice Duel and the Carpety Knees Up, which all take place weekend after next, 24th, 25th of August. Black Ice is sold out, but there's still spaces left in Wanaka and in Waikanae if you want to get involved. Then we've got the Disc Daddies, and then the Hagley Huck 2 weeks later on the 15th. I think Ewan mentioned in the chat that there's only maybe half a dozen spots left. Let's see if we can find it here. There's only half a dozen spots left at the Hagley Huck. 5 MPO/FPO spots only remaining. So that's selling out. So make sure you get involved in that if you want to play. Then comes Hitting the Links, which is new to the sanctioning arena, Morgan.
Yep.
You remember I played this event in July when it was up in Palmerston North. It was a great day. Loved it. Absolutely fantastic it was. Got to get together with the NTTG boys and also the rest of the sort of wider Greater Wellington team. And yeah, had a great time. And so what they're sanctioning it. It's going to be a sanctioned day out in Palmerston North. So get along to that if you want. I'd love to go and play that course actually. Again, I really enjoyed it. 21st September. I'll be in the UK unfortunately, so I won't be able to get there myself. But very much looking forward to how everybody gets on. Flight Park Open is on the 21st to the 22nd of September. Morgan, did you mention it might move?
Not officially.
No, but maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
That's all up in my own brain right now.
Okay.
Haven't really put that any further than your ears and the people in this podcast.
Okay, my apologies. Okay, Black Ice Duel, the final meltdown, the second event in the Dunedin Duo Series, 22nd September. That's sold out. Thermal Throwdown is sold out, but it was good to hear that some people who are on the waiting list have been bumped to the event, which is fantastic. Then is the South Island Masters Games in Nottingley from the 11th to the 13th of October. It's not a sanctioned event, but if you're keen to go and play this, there is more information on Disc Golf Scene. Pretty cheap rego from what I understand. So if you're in the Nottingham region,
was it like 30 or 40 bucks or something?
Something like that. Yeah. So if you want to get involved in that, then yeah, absolutely get along to Nottingham. Owaka. Now, Morgan, when does the Rego open on this?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday. So that's the 23rd. No, 22nd,
Yep.
sorry, of August.
Yep. Adam arrives back from the UK on the 20th, and him and Tyler are going to be working on the disc golf scene because it's Tyler's first time doing it, and we want to make sure he learns the whole thing in the process.
Fantastic.
So we're waiting till Adam gets back.
Fantastic. So next Thursday is when Owaka starts. Then you've got the Extreme in Tauranga on the 26th to the 28th of October. That is selling out / must have sold out by now. I would have thought it was getting close to it. Wahitapu Legend of the Lodge is on the 1st to the 3rd of November, and then Auckland Disc Golf Champs is on the 16th to the 17th of November. Registration for this opens pretty soon, actually, I read, and there's a 2-stager. So if you were if you're a divisional winner last year, then you can enter. Let me just bring the post up. It's at Monte Cecilia Park. Oh, sorry, no, it's not at Monte Cecilia Park. It's at the Oratia Orchard, which is where they held nationals for one of the events. And I'm just trying to find if I can find the date of the registration opening. I'm sure I saw.
What date did you say that was? Sorry, Matt.
That's the 16th and 17th of November.
16th, 17th of November.
Yeah. It's the weekend after Moonbase.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. It's just back to front on the thing.
It is back to front.
Yeah, that I was getting confused there. I'm like, am I eyes going crazy?
And let me just see about the registration. It's sold out. It must have opened today. So yeah, there we go. It's tonight that it opened, and it's already filled. So
awesome.
Go to sold out next week. So well done to everybody there. Moonbase in Twizel is also on that the weekend before, and then Day at the Lake in Te Anau, Rapper Rumble in December, and Nationals in February. Then also, if you're looking really ahead, then you Disctopia, which you'll remember was held in Masterton in March, is also back in March, and there's an event page for it up on Disc Golf Scene at Henley Lake. Really good tournament this year, so I hope to get back to it. Let's have a look at power rankings.
Should we just quickly jump over to Tom over on hole 9? Just catch the end of his round. He's on the tee waiting for us patiently.
Oh, is he? Okay, apologies. So, Tom, how's the round going?
Bring us up on the screen if it's not already. People need to see. Hey, there it is.
So we've got elevated tee. He's got a compass, 75 meters with a compass. I'm not confident with that distance with a compass.
Straight at it, Tom.
Straight at it. Has he made it? Goodness. He's made it. He's made it on. He's on the dance floor he's got what, 11 meters just outside
all day.
C1. Just outside C1. Oh dear. He's fallen out of his hand almost.
Oh, that was brilliant. 10.5 meters to go.
It went 3 meters. Congratulations. And there we go. Drains it for a par. How has he done? So Tom, what did you neg 1? And who have we got? Who's the winner? You can scroll through the winners there for us now.
A 12.
A 10 down. 2 neg 10.
12. You just scrolled past the 12.
Oh, did we?
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Anyone else? A couple of 9s in there, and an 11 down. Oh, an ace on hole 9. Look. GG Louis Hickson. He's having a fantastic.
Louis went straight at it.
He got the Discdle and wins Disc Golf Valley. Louis Hickson is the winner of Sweet Chain Live this week, so well done to him. Let's head over to power rankings. So in power rankings, not too much change has happened in the top 20 of either. Janine Frost moves into 20th place in the FPO standings, up 20 spots. No changes in the power rankings for the gents, other than to say that Phil Botha did move up in the rankings, and by quite a significant amount, it must be said. Let's just have a look. I've got it here. He's up 25 spaces to 44th. So well done to Phil. Right, I think that more or less does it for us for this week. Morgan?
Yep, I think my legs are nearly 100% back underneath me after last weekend's adventures into the Canterbury region, up into the mountains, and to Smallbone Slam. So I think I'll be back out on the course this week. All I've managed to do this week is get on the lawn bowl screen, and that's about it. We got the dub though, so that was worth it.
Very well done. Very well done. Yes.
Back to the course this week for sure. Saturday, I'd say. I'd
love to get out this weekend. I'm going to try and make it happen. As I said, come hell or high water, and I think Sunday might be a washout. So we'll see what happens. But no, look, well done everybody who competed in the Disc Golf Valley. Heaps of people actually competed. We'll have another one of those next week. So you can test your mettle against the rest of New Zealand. Don't forget that if you have enjoyed the show and you want to show some support, then you can do it in a number of ways. There's you can consider subscribing on our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all of the videos and live shows. And if you want to give the video a like, then that really helps the algorithm as well. If you want to go further, then there's our Patreon, patreon.com/sweetchainlive. It's got a number of different tiers with benefit levels, and we're working on beefing up some of these benefits, and we got some real cool stuff that's going to be coming in the pipeline. So yeah, if you want to get involved in that, patreon.com/sweetchainlive. There's a link in the outro of the show as well. But other than that, Morgan, I hope you enjoy your wherever you get to play this weekend. You're going to whip around the gardens or up to Tucker Beach, do you reckon?
I might go play Flight Park, I think.
Lovely.
Yeah, okay. Go get some practice in out there. Might as well touch on that quickly, guys. Obviously, Matt just sort of threw it out there a minute ago. I kind of just said to him, and I was thinking out loud in the green room before the show, I was just like, maybe I should look at changing the event to the weekend after. It's a bit of a tough one. There's not that many people registered right now, and a lot of those people that would usually register are in the Dunedin region, and they have a tournament that's filled up already that weekend. So contemplating it, guys. Contemplating it. Keep an eye out. I'll talk to the people that I need to talk to, and we may have a shift, but it's going to be on a few people to be able to make that decision if it's going to work or not. So stand by.
Okay. Well, enjoy yourself, Morgan, this weekend, and very best of luck to everybody playing in the Christchurch League meet and greet, which I think occurs this weekend. Is it a Jelly Park, Phil? Can you just nod to us? It is. So yeah, if you're new to disc golf, you know someone who wants to be new to disc golf, then get them along to the Christchurch League meet and greet this weekend, wherever you're playing disc golf. Take it easy, play well, get some birdies, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.